All right, you're here with women's basketball head coach John Haskins. And Coach, now you guys turn around after the homestand to take on two teams on the road on an extended trip. Teams you've already seen this year, so let's talk about that for the first time in PBC play, having a chance to get a second look at a pair of teams, one that you lost to and one that you beat.
That's the one thing I do like about playing anybody twice is that you've seen them one time, you've seen how you match up against them, and then trying to make adjustments and see what you can do better. So that's the plus. The negative is we've got to go to everybody that we used to be in the other division twice. A lot of travel.
Columbus State ended up winning the first match with you guys by 20. You guys were really hot out of the gates with them, stayed even with them in that first quarter, kept it close into the half. What did you think about your team's early play in that game, and how can you guys take what happened in that first half and kind of continue it throughout a full 40?
We made a lot of shots, but we can't trade baskets with them. I think the first quarter score was 25 all, and that's just not our pace. That's their pace. It's not our pace. So we've got to do a good job of controlling tempo. We've got to make them work harder for their shots defensively. They shot unbelievable from the three. I think they were 15 for 25 from the three. So hopefully they won't shoot it as well as they did last time. We made 10 threes. We were 10 for 30, so we shot the ball fairly decent. But, with Jarvis, with Wayne, and with Raymondville, that's just the perimeter. They can all make shots, and then they've got two big, strong posts inside. Got killed on the glass. We've got to do a better job with the glass. I think we got our rebound like 20, 21 rebounds. So, hopefully we do a better job contesting perimeter shots and then do a better job rebounding.
We talked after Augusta about the defensive improvement for you guys, and you mentioned that you felt like the defense had been coming along. How much do you think you guys have changed defensively since the first time that you saw these two teams?
We'll see. We'll see Saturday. I think we have gotten better, but they've just got so many weapons, particularly on the perimeter, so we'll see. We'll probably try to mix it up a little bit, man-to-man zone them a little bit, but we obviously feel more comfortable with our man. That's kind of been our bread and butter. So we'll see, but hopefully we've got to get in gaps that, they can shoot it, but they've got a couple kids that can really drive it too. So that's a tough matchup for us, and we've got to do a better job defensively, obviously.
Another thing we talked about at the end of Augusta, you guys had the big lead in the fourth quarter, obviously played really well with limiting turnovers. You kind of said the first 15 minutes of that second half you were really happy with, the last 5 minutes not so much. How does the team build on those final 5 minutes in terms of just kind of having the confidence to put a game away late?
Well, I think that's what it is. It's confidence, poise, and then it's attacking the basket. We settled for a lot of jumpers. I think we're over for the last 11 from the floor. We took a lot of jump shots. We've got to get the ball inside. We've got to attack off the dribble, get to the free throw line. We've got to do those things better, I think. But poise and confidence are the two things, and just that feel that confidence that you can close out games.
2 games ago, T and Alicia had career nights. Then they come back the last game against Augusta. They helped limit turnovers. As we said, you guys only had 3, I think, midway into the fourth quarter. What have they been doing at the guard position to kind of continue to elevate their game, and how have you seen them grow over the last couple of weeks?
I do think they've gotten better, and we're doing a better job of making decisions now. Columbus will put pressure on us. They'll pressure us the whole game. They're athletic. I hope we can do a better job. Even in the Lander game, I don't think we had 15 turnovers against Lander, and they're forcing probably 25, 26 a game. So, knock on wood, the last 3 games, we have done a better job of taking care of the basketball. Did a great job against Augusta with only 6 turnovers. So hopefully we continue to do that against Columbus State. On the flip side, against Columbus State, we turned them over 31 times last time, and they still scored 99 points. So that's a hard stat to fathom that we made them turn it over 31 times. They still scored 99. So
it'll be an adventure for sure. Yeah. And you talked about Nyla Allen as well after the last game, another career high in scoring. She's done that in the last couple weeks twice. For her to shoot the good shots from the field. What have you seen from her shot selection? It seems like she's taking a lot of extra time in the gym and really kind of trying to help lead that offense.
I think last year she didn't know what shot to take, and I think she didn't have enough confidence putting the ball down that she shot it before she did something that wasn't real good with it. She's real comfortable now facing up, attacking off the dribble, 1-2 dribble, pull up J, get into the hole, facing up, driving your back, hitting that shot. She can hit the 3-point shot. So I just think she's getting comfortable and confident in what she's doing. The next phase is attacking and creating shots for others. But no, she's doing a really good job, and I think she's playing with a lot of confidence right now. That bodes well for our team.
And the last player to highlight for you guys right now lately, of course, has been Brandy Robinson. 2 starts her last 2 times out, 10 points, 8 rebounds against Augusta. What's allowing Brandy to kind of take that next step?
Really pleased with what she did last night. I thought she played real well. I just think with Brandy, it's three things. It's focus, it's low confidence, and it's being aggressive. She needs to continue to improve in all those three areas. But she gave us a great lift. I thought she played well against Georgia College. So hopefully she'll continue that improvement and keep getting better and better.
And the last thing, Coach, you guys are going on the road, a place that you guys have kind of struggled this season. What's the biggest thing for the team mindset-wise that can kind of help them turn the tail of the road trips this year?
Just play. I mean, just play with the same energy, the same confidence that we play at home. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, as far as I know, courts are the same size, the rims are the same height. I mean, you know, just go play and do it with confidence.
Okay, we're looking forward to watch you guys go play this weekend, and thanks for the time.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
We're here with Associate Men's Basketball Head Coach Drew Richards in for Ben Miller today. And, Coach, you guys are going on the road for a road trip to face two teams that you've already seen this year. I'd imagine first things right off the bat to cover is Columbus State, the only team so far that's beaten you guys in PBC play. How do you think the team feels about getting a chance at them a second time?
I think they're excited. You know, Columbus State's a hard matchup. And that's why they've had success against us and a team like Augusta, because we're both relying on our size and post play, where Columbus is more guard oriented and they run a lot of different things that make you guard. They're really good players, a lot of shooters, a lot of penetrators, and they got Ja'Cory Payne, who's probably one of the most consistent guard in the league right now. So I think they're excited, but we also got to understand that we have to execute a game plan better than we did the last time we played them.
When you mentioned Ja'Cory Payne, last couple of times he's faced you guys, he's kind of been a thorn in the Braves' side. What is it about him specifically that makes him such a difficult player to defend?
I think he's a thorn in the PBC side. I mean, I'm watching him against Georgia Southwestern. He just makes shots. I mean, he can make really difficult shots. He doesn't shy away from the moment. Even here, playing against Columbus State, I mean, I think Micah Kinsey's a great defender, and Micah was right there, and he was still knocking in shots. So I think trying to make Ja'Cory uncomfortable is a key thing in this game. That's not very easy to do, being a seasoned guy that's played in the PBC for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. But you know, in order to give us the best opportunity to win the game, we're going to have to do something with Ja'Cory. And the game plan going in, that's what we're going to try to do.
Brandon Watts mentioned, I mean, you guys, with an Augusta team that was shooting very well in PBC play, you guys showed up defensively, and he said the team's goal is to hold opponents under 40% field goal shooting. How are you seeing the defense evolve over your guys' last few games? And that was probably a really big part of keeping you guys in that Augusta contest.
When you shoot 32%, you got to do something, you know. And I think our offense will come. I think our shooting percentages will increase as we continue to go along in PBC play. But we've talked about it since day one. Is defense and rebounding are the staples of our program and our culture. And you know, we didn't rebound as great last night, and that's something we need to do a better job of against Columbus. But defensively, I think guys buying in and understanding what they need to do in the positions on and off the ball, and communication, just, you know, want to, grit and toughness, things we harp on all the time. And I think guys they're really starting to buy into it and do what we ask on that end of the floor. And with how we've been shooting the ball recently, you got to have something you can hang your hat on. And I think defensively, our guys are proud of what we can accomplish whenever we focus on that end of the floor.
When we talk about the contrast of styles, especially in the Columbus State matchup, you're a big man, you know about the post play. What have you seen in your post players lately, and what are some of the things that you like the most are happening down low?
You know, I think whenever we're aggressive, I think it bodes well for the team. You know, I think last night we settled for jump shots too much, and then going into the second half, I think we made an adjustment. We were able to attack the basket more and use a jump shot as a secondary weapon instead of a primary weapon. You know, JB, Akia, Nigel, all those guys are skilled, strong enough in there to go finish over some physical contact and double and triple teams. But we just need to have more consistency in there. And I think we've done a pretty good job this year. Last night I know we struggled making some shots, but I mean, those guys, we work on it every day. And they, one thing I'll say about those group of big guys that I've been around is that they want to improve. I mean, every single day they're looking to learn new things to improve on the floor. So I think that's a good thing in the long run, as long as we can keep being the aggressor inside and knowing where our bread and butter is getting the ball in their hands and letting them either score or create for others.
On the flip side of that, in the guard department for you guys, Ben Miller was kind of reveling after the Augusta game and the ability lately of the guards to dish out assists and really limit turnovers, especially with the youth that you guys have at that position. How are those guys coming along in their first collegiate seasons for some of them? And, what is that group of guys like to work with every day in practice?
They're great. I mean, they're sponges. Tyrell and David and Mike. I mean, you got 2 freshmen and a sophomore that bring it every day. There hasn't been ever an issue of their effort, which, with freshmen you can have some inconsistency there, but those guys play as hard and compete as hard every day in and day out as any guards that I've seen. And, they're slowly growing up. As far as assist to turnovers, I think that each of them are some of the best since I've been here going into 4 years that we've had. Now, there's still some things we need to improve at, especially from the execution standpoint, making sure they know where each player needs to go and making sure they're in the positions before we start running a play, and being more aggressive play calling on the floor, things like that'll come with time. But as far as just having that toughness to handle the ball, to handle pressure, and to get the ball where it needs to go, I think we've been pretty good so far. Once we get a couple shots to knock down, I think it'll loosen them up even more. But if they come out and compete and defend and play make for others like we ask them to every night in, night out, I feel good about our chances.
Understandably, for this group, it's different for everyone when you go on the road compared to being at home. And you guys just had that true home crowd back against Augusta. How do you feel like this team responds on the road? What's their mentality like? What's their attitude like? Is it ever different than it is at home? And how does that affect what they're able to do?
Well, the crowd last night was great, and I think our actual shooting percentage at home is much lower than our shooting percentage on the road. So I don't know if we get too excited or sped up or something when we're at home. On the road, I think the veterans understand and the new guys are understanding that in order to be a upper level team in the Peach Belt, you got to win on the road. And it's not easy. It's going to be really ugly sometimes. It's going to be very difficult. But in order to be towards the top when the season's over, you got to win on the road. And I think we've been able to have a level of focus. Like we always say, I mean, you basically start on the road, you start 10 points down on the PPC. You got to imagine you're 10 points down when you start the game, and that's what you're trying to fight back from. And I think that challenge is not something our guys have shied away from yet. I think we've come out on the road as good as we have so far. I hope we can continue it as we're really going through a big stretch here. I think we got 3 games on the road straight against some really good competition that's been playing very well. So hopefully we take it game by game and enter each game with the focus of understanding how difficult it's going to be. But luckily, I think if we execute and if we defend like we have been, I think we're going to put ourselves in an opportunity to be successful.
A little bit of a unique situation to travel the way you guys do this weekend. Typically go down a day early for a longer trip, play a game, come home. You guys end up going down on Friday, staying all the way through Monday. How is that different for a team? Does it really even matter to you guys when you go down and travel that way?
I don't think it really matters. The day in between rests, that's going to be the biggest thing, I think, making sure that we are both able to go over the scout and understand what we need to do in order to win the game and also get enough rest. But I think our guys like traveling. I think they like staying in hotel rooms. I think they like the opportunity to miss class occasionally, even though they need to make sure they get up with their work. But I don't think it bothers them a whole lot. I think it helps them maintain and stay focused on exactly what we need to do. And I've heard Americus is lovely this time of year, so we're ready to get down there as well.
And then finally, you mentioned that Georgia Southwestern team, a team you guys beat the first time around. They had 4 in double figures. You guys had 5 in double figures, and it's something we've talked about throughout the years that you guys can go a lot of different directions during the course of just a single game. So, what does that mean to you guys as a coaching staff to kind of have so many different options, especially when you've said that you guys have weathered some adversity this year?
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Southwestern 1 through 5 is as talented as anybody in the league, and they've been playing really. I think they've won 4 in a row or something right now, and they've been rolling lately. And obviously, we're, as far as a team goes, focusing on Columbus State first, knowing that that's the most important first step is critical. But our ability to adhere to different styles of play. One thing going into it, we know that we're going to have to make adjustments, but ultimately when we go into a game, we know that we have to defend at a high level and we got to rebound at a high level in order to put ourselves in a position to win the game. So I know different teams have strengths. Some play zone, some play man, some have different types of offenses, but we know ultimately what we need to do in order to be successful night in, night out, and that consistency lies on the defense and rebounding.
All right, Coach. So we're looking forward to seeing that consistency this weekend. Thank you for the time and good luck.
Thanks.